comedy because I don't like having a job. Pretty much the reason why. And it's not that I'm lazy. I do a lot of stuff. I'm not a lazy guy. I just feel like having a job really translates to being stuck in a building with boring people for 40 hours a week. And I don't like that shit. I don't like getting dragged into mundane Monday conversations with somebody who'll come in on a Monday like, hey, Albert, what'd you do this weekend? I'll be like, nothing. And I walk away because I don't want to ask them what they did this weekend because I'm not interested in what other boring comedy or whatever TV shows they like to watch. I just don't care. I think I'm jaded. I think I made the wrong friends at work. I made friends with the weatherman. Anybody familiar with the weatherman? The guy wants to tell you the goddamn temperature all the time. It's like, hey, Albert, it's -6 degrees outside. I'm like, dude, I didn't fucking ask you. Yeah, we're from Chicago, where it gets super cold, and people want to talk about the weather all the time. You know, it's just all kind of boring conversations at work. The weather, sports, or politics. And I would talk about it, but nobody I've ever worked with has ever been in the NBA, or ever had a helicopter, or ever had a meteorology degree. So what the fuck do you know, man? I don't care. I don't want your opinion. But, you know, it's no big deal. I think the real problem is I don't like people that complain at work. You know, you meet these complainers, people with nothing going on in their life, and they want to complain. Hey, my life sucks. It's like, no, dude, you suck. Life is pretty awesome. Everybody I know that's cool has a cool life, and everybody I know that's a piece of shit has a shitty life. So that's kind of how it goes. Even if you got a lot of problems, you got to put a positive spin on that. Try to inspire other people to do the same. It's good. But you guys, you know, just want to complain and make up fucking excuses for why your life sucks. I just don't get it. And then people at work want to complain and they say the worst shit. They'll be like, I hate my job. I hate my job. Like, no, you don't. Because if you hated your job, you know what you would do? Quit. Everybody does that. You know what you like to do? Complain. You don't hate your job. You love complaining. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's great. Everybody likes to complain. It's cool. But day after day, I can't put up with that shit. So what I like to do is try to convince people to quit their jobs. That's what I like to do. Hey, Albert, I hate my job. You know what you should do? Quit. Hey, Albert, it's not that easy. Yes, it is. Stop going. Just stop going. You think you can't do that? I got a life hack for you. If you stop going enough days in a row, you don't fucking work there anymore. It's no longer your place of employment. What I like to do is leave on lunch breaks. That's my thing. That's my bag. I think it's hilarious. I like to go out of my lunch break and just never come back. I think it's really funny. People call me, hey, Albert, when are you coming back? I'm like, never. And I hang up. It's great. And what I like to also do is try to talk other boring people into quitting their jobs. You know, they'll be like, I hate my job, this, that. I'd be like, dude, there's a lot of doors. Choose one. Step out. If you're on the second floor, choose a window. Jump out. It'll be good for you, right? You know, I think it'll make for a better story. I'll talk to that guy. I don't want to talk to the weatherman, but if you tell me a story about the time you hated your job so much you jumped out of a window, I'll listen to that shit. I'll hang out with that guy. That's a good guy. You know, I think it's good to quit jobs and get new jobs because I'm a stand-up comic. So I go to new cities and I need to make money so I can do stand-up. And that's fine for me. And here I am. Every time I go to a new city, I got to present my resume to like an employer. And I thought it made me look entrepreneurial. But they're like, no, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's unreliable. I'm like, oh, shit. I thought I was just really employable. And they're like, no, you need to jump out of a window right now. So, you know, it's no big deal. And I think I have a hard time keeping a job for a lot of reasons. So I do stand-up because I'm kind of an asshole, all those kinds of things. I'm lazy. I like to sleep. I like to go to the bathroom and take naps. You know, they think I'm taking a shit, but I'm asleep. It's great. Quitting on lunch breaks, all that. You know, I'm late a lot. I got a problem with clocks. I feel like clocks have a mind of their own. I feel like clocks are liars. They're full of shit. I feel like I got a Beauty and the Beast sort of scenario going on at my house with enchanted objects. You know, every time I get in the shower, my clock likes to fuck with me. And sometimes I get in the shower, you know, and it's like 45 minutes to go by. Like, how the hell did that fucking happen? Did I take a Xanax? Did I go through a time warp? How did 45 minutes go by? That's fucking crazy. But I do have a job. It's not easy for me to get a job. I am Mexican, so it's hard for me to get a job. I know not a lot of people could tell I'm Mexican. I don't have any neck tattoos. That makes it difficult to identify. But I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Been a teacher for a long time. And I think I'm a good teacher because I fucking hate kids. I think that's why I'm a good teacher. It's not that I hate kids, it's just that I don't want them to be kids anymore. I want them to grow the fuck up. I want them to have some responsibility, stop making excuses, be able to take control of their own lives. I think that's very important. I think kids is just like a title that we give them so they don't have to do shit. But in reality, if you got hands and feet and you could read, you could work. We need to be putting these kids to fucking work. They need to be digging ditches or planting trees or some shit. If a person in prison can make a goddamn license plate, so can a 5-year-old. We need to get those little hands busy with little fucking instruments. Thank you guys. My name's Albert. You guys have been awesome.
So the dogs don't bark. You don't get fired.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Hey, so we're here on Sunday morning sessions with Albert Escobedo. Albert, you at Compton College? Is that your alma mater?
It is.
Where's that
at? It's in Compton, I assume.
Virginia or Canada or
Kansas. It's in Kansas City. It's a very exclusive private school.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't know. They only let people that are under 6 foot tall go to school here.
Oh.
For some reason.
Well, good thing you're 5'11 and a half.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Just
Left.
there.
Sideways. I like your haircut.
Yeah, it's a natural look.
The
That's
natural.
what I call it,
Does the
natural.
curtain match the drapes?
It does not. There's a lot of hair where I don't want it. To. You know what I'm saying?
Taint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
say
Right
taint
around the-
so.
right around the-
Yeah.
Taint bald down there.
You
know what I'm Just like your mother. You know?
Yeah, I know. Her taint is delicious. I feel like so you're a stand-up comic.
Yes, this is true. I've been stand-up comedying for a while.
Well, you're sitting down right now.
It's because you made me. Remember, we had this conversation.
I did make you.
They have guns.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Them.
Them. They.
They.
What are the pronouns?
Us.
Us.
Yeah.
Us.
We
said
have guns.
We have guns. I don't have any
Well,
guns.
not me.
Unless
me.
you're talking about my taint. It's shoots.
I wasn't, so that's cool.
Yeah. When did you start doing comedy?
Whew, man, comedy I have never done before, but comedy.
Comedy.
That one. First time I did
the
comedy.
third one?
The third?
Yes.
Yeah, it was on the third year of 2005.
2008.
No, subtract the 3.
I don't know geometry that well.
2005. I'll make it easy for you.
You started in 2005?
2005.
Wow, Chicago or out here?
In Indiana when I was in college.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sean Connery's dog
Mm-hmm.
was and then that's how he named Harrison Ford.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
the Crystal
you
Skulls.
know your history. You know
archaeology.
your Greek mythology.
Yeah, it's all Greek to them.
Yeah, that's what I was
I don't
thinking.
know their pronouns either. I
Yeah.
don't know. Where was your favorite spot you've ever done the comedy?
My favorite spot to ever do the comedy at the Comedy Store in West Hollywood.
Ooh, did you buy anything?
Did I buy anything? I bought some laughs.
You bought some laughs.
My currency was my jokes, and I transacted.
You bartered.
I bartered.
Barely
yes.
even know her.
No.
Bartered her.
Exactly.
Yeah, San Francisco subway.
Right. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they good currency.
Yes, it's like curry shells or whatever they call them. Curry shells.
I like the Japanese curry level 5.
That's too hot.
The Indian curry, it's a little waterier.
No, Japanese level 4 is crazy. 5 is unbearable. You're out of your mind.
Well, I don't like my butthole.
That's good then.
Unlike
now I
Dre.
understand. He loves his butthole.
And my butthole.
He loves your butthole.
Do you love mine?
I see.
Why?
Okay.
Put on your pants. I feel like a lot of people who do comedy often find that they tell the jokes and the people laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I mean, hopefully. Sometimes you tell the jokes and they don't laugh, and that's okay too. We're all human.
Yeah.
We're allowed to.
The
make
parents have their
mistakes.
own opinions.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't tell jokes to your parents. It's my personal opinion.
Well, your opinion is entitled to the opinion that we hold.
My opinions are pretty entitled.
Yeah,
They are white.
The very millennial opinions.
Yes.
So, do you have the social media? Do you have any of the social media?
I do have the social media.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have the Twitter,
The Twitter,
the Instagram,
the Instagram,
the Facebook,
the Facebook.
the YouTube.
I think that's just YouTube.
Oh, my bad.
I think it's
YouTube.
just YouTube. Yeah.
The rest of them were correct though.
Zanga.
Correct. Yes. And then I have what else do I have? Maybe that might be all of them.
Well, you have your laughs. The greatest
I-
currency of all.
This is correct. I have that, and my username is laughs.
So if you look up laughs on Instagram,
You'll find me.
you'll find Albert Escobedo.
Beto.
Yeah, well, let's not hurt anyone.
Well, I don't want to beat them. My name is Beto. Escobedo.
Pizza. You beat the pizza. Beat the dough.
No. We'll talk about it next time. But we'll just leave it at that.
Check
Just trust
out-
me, I know my name. Just you guys go ahead and believe I know how to say my own name.
Just check out Beto Escobedo Albert at Laughs on MySpace.
Hashtag jokes. Jokes. Where can we find you?
Right here, baby.
After this. No. My wife's here. Feel better? Alright, I want that to stop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm a teacher. I used to teach in a real ghetto high school, and that it's a charter school, so those systems are broken. They hired me because I have a 4-year degree to teach these kids, and that's just like why the kids don't learn shit. It's a broken system. I understand that, but I tried to help. I have a degree. They wanted me to teach geometry, high school sophomore geometry, and I'll tell you guys a little secret. I don't know shit about math. I am not good at math. But they're like, can you teach math to these kids? I'm like, yeah, I could teach math to these kids, but I didn't realize you can't teach math to people that don't want to fucking learn. Like, that's what's impossible. But I gave it a shot, but I was not qualified. I'll give you an example. They wanted me to teach sophomore geometry. I haven't taken geometry since I was a sophomore in high school. And that was 18 years ago. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but if you could do that math in your head, you are far more qualified to teach high school geometry than I am. It didn't work out. Shit was not going well, so they moved me out of the geometry class to another class. They're like, what else would you like to teach? I'm like, well, what are my options, buddy? And they gave me AP psychology. I was like, I could teach that. It's a science. It's a little bit easier. It's a lot of memorization, keywords. Fine, I could teach that shit. It's easier. And plus, it's going from teaching sophomores to juniors and seniors, which is a little bit easier. So they put me in the AP psychology class. Spoiler, never taken a psychology class in my entire life, ever. I've gone down a lot of YouTube rabbit holes. I know some shit about psychology because, I thought I was a psychopath and I wanted to make sure I wasn't. So I did some independent research. But I did learn in class a couple of things. It was fun to learn psychology. It's an interesting topic. So I'm learning along with the students and we're reading the book at the same time. I'm like, holy shit, did you guys know this? I didn't fucking know it. And they thought that was cool. I thought it was cool. But sometimes they'd have questions. They'd be like, Mr. Escobedo, what's the answer to number 6? And I'd be like, I have no idea. I suggest you turn the page and keep on reading, little buddy, because I can't help you. And that was fun for me. But then we would learn cool shit. We learned about Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, I knew some things about, but not a lot. He was a famous psychologist, psychiatrist. He had all these novel ideas about human behavior, and he had some great ideas that people know about, and then some ideas I didn't know about. Sigmund Freud says that any bad habit that you display in public, that you'd rather be masturbating. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I totally get it. Because if you're willing to do one thing in public that people are judging you for, that make you look disgusting, but you're willing to do it anyway, you're like, fuck it, I'm in my car, or whatever, and you're picking your nose, or you're fucking jerking off, or whatever people do in their cars, that's cool. I know people do it. I've read about it. But, the Sigmund Freud was saying that, and I was like, all right, I kind of understand, because I've smoked a cigarette, but I'm not a cigarette smoker. And I've jerked off, but I'm not a chronic masturbator, and masturbating feels better than smoking cigarettes. So for sure, if it wasn't illegal, I would masturbate 20 feet away from an entrance of a building. For sure. And so would a lot of people. People already jerk off in public. We've all seen them. If it wasn't illegal, you would see it just as much as you see people smoking cigarettes. Because it's a disgusting habit. People don't like that shit. And then I think, like, man, imagine if it wasn't illegal to masturbate in public. Just imagine. Everybody would fucking do it, and then it would escalate to situations where you normally wouldn't masturbate in public, but maybe you've, like, had a little bit too much to drink or something. You're, like, at a family reunion, and you've had one too many wine coolers or whatever the fuck your family does. And your cousin comes on over to you and like, hey, Albert, you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes in front of Grandma. She doesn't like that shit. Like, dude, you shouldn't be jerking off in front of Grandma. She doesn't like that shit. Like, what are you talking about? Grandma used to jerk off when she was my age. Like, I didn't know that about Grandma. We have a lot in common. I have a lot more in common with Grandma than I thought. 2029, Grandma used to be a man. That's cool. I just got married recently. That's pretty cool. I got married. Thank you so much. My wife has to deal with being married to a comedian where everything is an opportunity for me to tell a joke. We went to a restaurant the other day, Grand Central Market in downtown LA, and they have this restaurant. It's called the Egg Slut. And everybody knows about the Egg Slut, and we went there to get their signature dish, which is titled what? The Egg Slut. So we go to get this Egg Slut, and I go up to the guy at the counter, and I'm like, hey, can I have an Egg Slut? He's like, we are out of Egg Sluts. And I'm like, well, you must have some sort of Egg Slut alternative, like an egg prostitute or an egg whore or some kind of egg chicken head. I'm not sure how that works. But I need something like that. My poor wife has to deal with me all the time. Everything's great in our marriage. We get along really well. I would say our first contention was with her having a problem with how much weed I smoke. And I do smoke weed, and I've been smoking weed for a long time. My wife has known me for 14 years, and I've smoked weed the whole time. But until we lived together, she didn't know how often I smoked weed. So she's like, do you smoke weed all day? I'm like, of course not. I'm a responsible pothead. I smoke 4 times a day. In the morning before I go to work, on my lunch break, in the afternoon after work on my way home, and before I go to bed at night. And she's like, so you high all day? I'm like, hopefully. Yes. That is the goal. That's why I buy the top shelf. Thank you guys. My name's Albert. You guys have been awesome.
Yeah, Albert!